Oh, good morning, everybody. Um, we have about 4 minutes before the class begins. Make sure that you're nice and comfortable. Any props that you'd like to use for class. Sometimes it's nice to have a pillow, a block, sometimes even a strap first thing in the morning. And coming to a comfortable position just before you begin, getting yourself grounded and relaxed. Good morning. Welcome to Rise and Shine Yoga. This morning it is still dark here at Balance Yoga and Wellness in 44 PA. But that doesn't mean that we're not gonna get ourselves up and going as the sun begins to rise. So joining us, if you have not already, getting yourself maybe up on a block, a bolster, a pillow. You can start in a comfortable seated position, or you can find yourself lying down on the mat. In whatever position you begin in, finding a way, a place to rest the body and to allow yourself to connect to the earth, to have a slow start to your day. With your eyes closed and your body in its comfortable position, scanning from the top of your head down to the tip of your toes, looking for any areas of that need support. Maybe it's not even discomfort. Find any areas that feel a little closed off or tense. You feel length the spine, and the ease in the muscles as the body begins to wake up and create an intention for this practice, for this day. Maybe it's for this week or this month, for the year to come. What is it that you're trying to cultivate or to bring into your life? Maybe it's a word or a phrase. But whatever it is, you commit to that. Hold it closely in your heart. And then thinking of someone else in your life that you would like to dedicate or offer your time and practice to. Whomever it is who steps forward for you first in your mind. Offering them this time, your breath, your effort, that they might have what they need. And fluttering your eyes open. From wherever you are, seated or lying down, just reach both arms up towards the sky and take a few circles in your wrist. You can give a little reach, a little more from the left side and the right side. Reverse the circles in the wrist in the opposite direction. Reach the arms out towards the sides and then all the way down. Resting again. Lowering your chin down into your chest, taking your ear towards one side of the shoulder. Lowering the chin down to the chest, taking your ear to the opposite side. And then the chin back down into the chest, a few gentle circles in the neck. First in one direction. And then in the opposite direction. If circles don't feel so good in your neck, you can shake your head yes. And then no. Coming back through center, interlacing the fingers behind your back. On an inhale, lifting the chest, reach the arms up and back behind you. Releasing the hands, interlacing them in front of you, turning your palms so that the palm of the hand reaches forward and round your spine. Press the mat away. Good, on an inhale, coming back to center. And then releasing your arms at your sides. We'll do that one more time. Interlacing the fingers behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Reach the knuckles back, the chest forward. And then releasing hands out in front of you, around the spine. Coming back through center. Removing that block from behind you or underneath you, if you were sitting on a prop. We're coming forward now into a tabletop position, grounding the hands down underneath the shoulders, and your hips over your knees. On an inhale, looking up, letting your belly drop down and arch the back. As you exhale, around the spine, chin to the chest. Again, on an inhale, looking up, letting the belly drop down, arch the back. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. The last one, on an inhale, looking up, letting the belly drop down, arch the back. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to the chest. And then beginning to bring all kinds of different movements into the spine. You can move your spine like a figure 8 or like a jump rope. Connecting your breathing to the movements of your body. Taking the time to notice and feel what's happening, what feels good, and any areas that need a little extra time or support this morning. Coming back through center now, sitting your hips back towards your heels in child's pose. The knees can come together and allowing the chest to rest over the thighs. Your forehead down towards the mat, the hands alongside the body. Two more breaths. Bringing your hands out long again, stretching them out in your child's pose. On an inhale, rising back up, tabletop position. And then taking the right arm up and out to the right side. Reach it up to the ceiling. Reach as far as you can. Exhale, thread the right arm through under the left arm. We're going to do that 3 times. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the right arm under the left arm. Come down on that right shoulder. That's 2. One last time, pressing into the left arm. Reach the right arm to the sky. And then threading that right arm through, coming down to rest on your right shoulder. Taking that left arm up overhead. Get as long as you can from your fingers to your hip. Rotating the spine, turn the chest. Bringing your left hand back down on your left shoulder, pressing down, reaching up your right arm up to the sky. And then your right hand back down onto the mat. Inhale, look up, let your belly drop down, arch the back. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. Coming back to center, that tabletop position, the left arm reaches up. Exhale, thread it through the left arm under the right arm. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread it through. Last time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread it through and stay. Reaching that right arm up overhead. Focusing on the rotation in this direction. And then bringing the right hand back underneath your right shoulder. Pressing down, reaching that left arm up towards the sky. Counter twist. And then back down onto the earth. Inhale, look up, let your belly drop down and arch the back. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. Coming back to center at tabletop position. And then tucking the toes under, reach your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And allow the movements to come to the hips. Maybe wagging your tail. Pedaling out in the feet. But move slowly. And allow the body to respond. So considering like the movements to be like a question. How does that feel in your body? And then waiting for the body to answer before you ask the next question. Well, how does this feel if I do this? How does it feel if I do that? And with those slow questions and time for an answer, we create the movements synced with the breath. Walking the feet forward, halfway up the back. On an inhale, bending the knees, half lift, reach the chest forward. As you exhale, the chest down onto the thighs. Hands to the floor, maybe back by the heels, letting your head hang down. If it feels unstable, separate the feet a little wider. Make sure that you have enough stability in the legs to allow your body to hang down. Bringing the fingers around the elbows, the chin into your chest. You can allow the body here to slightly rock forward and back, or left and right. Thinking about creating space in the low back.
Taking the hands back down onto the earth with an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and forward fold. And then with a bend in the knees, the chin into the chest, rising super slow, one vertebra at a time. Take your time to come all the way up to stand. Reach your arms up overhead and find a little back bend, stretch back. And then on an exhale, forward folding, hands down towards the earth. Walking the fingers forward and the feet back. A plank position, and then lowering the knees down. From that tabletop position, untuck the toes. Press firmly the right hand down into the mat and take the right leg back behind you. Keeping the toes turning down, the belly drawing in, and the hips even. Taking that left arm, reach out nice and long, press down into the right hand. And then return your hand and knee back down onto the mat, tabletop position. Inhale, look up, let your belly drop down and arch. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. Pressing the left hand firmly down into the floor, extending the left leg back behind you. Lifting it up and off the mat, keeping your hips even, the toes turning down. As you press down into that left hand, the belly engaged, reaching that right arm forward. Taking the hand and knee back down onto the mat at the tabletop position. Inhale, look up, let the belly drop down. Exhale, around the spine, chin to the chest. Coming back to center, tabletop position. We'll take the right foot and step it forward between the hands. So you can come up and step the right foot forward or bring it forward between the hands. Bringing both hands to the front knee. Allowing the weight to lean forward. Thinking about tucking your tailbone under as you reach the hip. Your right hand can come to your right hip and the left arm reaches up towards the sky. From here you can start to lean over, side stretch. And then back through center. Using your blocks or any other kind of homemade props. We're just gonna sit the hips back slightly. Extend the right leg out in front of you. Your toes up towards the sky. With your hands on the blocks, you can reach your sit bones up and back, lengthening your chest out towards your toes. You can take the baby toe side of your foot down towards the floor and then the big toe side. That rocking back and forth, feeling out how the hip is moving today. What directions feel tighter? And then coming back to center, toes back towards your face, you reach your chest out towards the toes. Then walking your hands over towards the right side. Take the baby toe side of the foot down towards the floor and allow the body to bow over the right leg. One more breath. And then coming back to center. Rounding the hands down. Bending into the front knee. Reach up one more time, the arms up towards the sky. Here you can find that little back bend, reaching up and back. Still thinking about tucking that tailbone under as you reach up. And then releasing your hands back down onto the block, stepping back, that tabletop position. The left foot can come up, and again, you can come up high to step the left foot forward. And in the same way, we'll reach the hips forward, but tucking the tailbone under as you do so. You can rest right here, pressing the hips forward. Or take your right arm, if you like, up towards the sky. And in that way, you can lean over towards the left as you press the hips forward. And then coming back through center. Grounding the hands down and sitting back slightly. Extend the left leg out in front of you. So again, we're finding that place the sit bones reach up and back, and the chest lengthens out over the toes. So as the toes pull back towards your face, you reach out to the heel, and the sit bones reach back, and the chest reaches forward. You find all of this opposition that gives us that feeling of a nice awareness of our stretch this morning. Reaching your chest out towards the toes, and then the baby toe side of the foot, maybe down towards the floor. And the big toe side down towards the floor. And coming back through center again. Toes towards your face. Reaching the chest out towards the toes. And then walking your hands over towards the left side. The baby toe side of the foot reaches towards the floor. And then you can allow the chest to soften down. And coming back through center. One more time, allowing the front knee to bend and the hips to come forward, pressing forward into the front leg, the tailbone tucking under. You can reach the arms up and find a back bend. Releasing your arms back down and stepping back, that tabletop position. Moving those blocks off to the side if you were using them. On an inhale, look up, let the belly drop down and arch. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin in the chest. Once again, sitting the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Finding length along the sides of the body. The head hanging down. On an inhale, looking forward. And coming down onto the belly so you can move from your child pose, gliding through. And coming to lie down onto the mat. Bringing the hands underneath the forehead. can wiggle and find the right positioning for the hips. One hand stacked on top of the other, the forehead down on the hands. Creating engagement so you can separate the feet a little wider apart if that feels good in your body. If you prefer the feet together, that's fine too. But find a place that you can squeeze into the glutes. Squeezing into your glutes, the inner thighs, the low belly draws in. And then finding the ability to lift maybe the elbows, even if it's just a tiny bit off of the mat. And putting all that work into the upper back. Seeing how much you can lift without that low back overly engaging. Keeping those legs reaching out to the back of the mat, your chest to the front of the mat. And then exhale, lower back down. You can turn your cheek to a side. Relax the effort in the glutes and the hips and gently allow the body to rock side to side. Coming back to center. You can switch which hand is on the top, bringing your forehead down. In the same way, preparing all the engagements. Finding the space in the back that feels right, build spacing between the legs. Engaging into the glutes, pulling up and in with the low belly. And then finding the amount of lift your upper back is doing the work to draw up. Reaching back with the feet and forward with the chest. 2 more breaths. And then exhale, lowering down. You can turn your cheek to the opposite side. Allow your hips to relax. Release the engagements. Bringing the hands now underneath your shoulders. Pressing up that tabletop position. And then sitting back slowly towards that child's pose. Coming back up, a tabletop position. And taking the left foot up and out to the left side. So we're in almost that lunge-like position again, but your right hand will stay down on the earth. The left hand will come to your left knee and start to turn and look over your left shoulder. If you like, that left arm can reach up towards the sky. If it feels appropriate here to bend in the back knee, you can. Or maybe reach back for your foot, finding that feeling of a back bend and a rotation in the twist. Slowly releasing the toes back towards the earth, the hand down inside the left leg. Here you can use any of those props or bolsters to come up as high as you like. You can stack them up and come very high. Or just in the very beginnings of the day. Sometimes the body takes time to warm up. If you prefer to come down a little lower, maybe bringing the forearms to a lower position or all the way down onto the mat. Allowing that chest to soften towards the floor. You can take the right elbow a little bit out to the right side and the left hand to the left knee and press it out. Giving yourself a little self-adjustment. Bringing the forearms back down. Pressing back up nice and tall. Sitting the hips back towards your right heel, left leg straightens out in front of you. And then rebending into that left knee before sending it back to the mat, tabletop position. Now the same idea on the right side. Taking that right leg, stepping it forward. The left hand this time stays down and lean forward into that stretch. The right hand can come onto the right knee. And you can start to look over your right shoulder. If it feels appropriate here, you can bend into the left leg, reaching that right arm up, maybe back for that foot. You'll know right away if that was a good idea, so if it wasn't, you can release that leg. Feeling the back bend and twist here. Slowly releasing, bringing the hand down. Sitting back, slightly reach out to the leg. And then rebending. Maybe coming down the same way onto 1, 2, several blocks, props, whatever it feels good on this side. And the sides may be different. So without any judgment, we just come down into the stretch on the side and find the softening into the right hip. If you like, you can find the position where you can bring the right hand to the right knee and press the right knee away. And these poses are much more about the feeling than they are of what it looks like. So can you find a place that these things feel really good? That you find the juice in the pose? And stay with that. And using your hands to press back up nice and tall. And then sitting the hips back slightly, the toes up towards the sky. Rebending into the knee, grabbing the palm down. Stepping back, your tabletop position. Inhale, look up, let the belly drop down and arch the back. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. And then coming back to center, sitting your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. This time the hands can reach back towards the feet. You can place the left and the right hand one on top of the other, and the forehead down. And you find the expansion in your back as your breath fills the body. And notice the way the chest gets heavy on the exhales. One more breath here. Release those arms back out, nice and long. Grounding the palms down, tuck the toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Once again, you can find little movements. Walking the feet forward, halfway up the mat, as far as you like, letting the head hang down, softening in those knees. And take the hands underneath the feet. So bend your knees as much as you need to get that to happen. Allow some of the weight to pour from the feet into the wrist, leaning towards your toes, let your head hang down. Releasing the hands from underneath the feet. Heel toe the feet together, back towards the center. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and forward fold. On an inhale, rising all the way up to standing, your arms reach up overhead. A little back bend. And bring your hands back to heart center. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hands down towards the earth. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding, bringing the block with you, taking the block to the outside of the left foot. Placing your right hand down on that block, and they have heights if you're using a block. If you're not using a block and you're working with a floor, you can bend your knees more to get the hands down to the floor. The left hand towards your left hip, and you're going to turn your chest towards the left. From there, you can see about straightening that left leg a little bit or a lot. The left arm up towards the sky. If it feels all right, you can work towards straightening that right leg, but it doesn't have to straighten very much at all. And then come back through center. Good, bringing that block over towards the right side. And then inhale, half lift in the center. Exhale and fold. Once again, allowing those knees to bend deeply. The left hand onto the block, the right hand to the right hip. With the knees bent a lot, turn the chest towards the right. Straighten the right leg as much as you like. The right arm up towards the sky, and maybe a little bit in that left leg. But really think about keeping the chest opening here. And then back through center. Taking that block off to the side, inhale, half lift. Exhale and forward fold. Running the palms down, stepping back, plank position. Exhale, lower the knees down. And lower the body all the way down onto the mat. Bringing the hands outside of the shoulders a little bit forward. And squeeze your shoulder blades together. Find the lift in the chest. Again, creating those engagements in the lower body. And then finding as much lift as feels appropriate today. On your exhale, lowering back down. Turning cheek to the side, resting on the mat. Your hands can rest at your sides. Releasing the hips and the low back. Bring the hands down behind the back. Interlacing the fingers, allow your forehead down. Bend the elbows as much as possible. Squeeze your shoulder blades and elbows together. Create the engagement in the low body. Reach those knuckles up towards the sky. On an inhale, lifting the chest. Lift the arms, maybe you lift the legs. Lift, lift, lift. And exhale, release. Turning the cheek to the opposite side. Allowing your body to rest on the floor, hands at your sides. Bring the hands back underneath your shoulders, pressing back through tabletop position. To child's pose, head hangs down. Inhale, rise back up, tabletop position. Taking that left foot and stepping it forward once again. Both hands can come to the front knee. Taking the arms out in front of you. Your right arm underneath your left arm. You can bend the elbows, maybe bringing the backs of the hands together. The hands can wrap around, trying to bring the palms towards each other. You can do that as well. Sending those hips forward, lifting the elbows up. Keep pressing those hands together. Push the shoulder blades away from each other. Nice stretch in the back. Lifting those elbows up and finding the amount of back bend here that feels nice. Coming back through center. Unwinding in the arms. Bring your hands out to the sides like cactus arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift in the chest. And then exhale, release. Running the palms down. Step back. Finding once again that tabletop position. And now the right leg comes forward. Both hands can come to the right knee. Finding your stability here. And then both arms out in front. Left arm underneath the right arm. The elbows bend. And the backs of the hands come towards each other. You can lift your elbows to do so. Maybe you wrap them a little further, trying to get the palms to touch. And then lifting those elbows up and drawing them away from your face. Creating as much back bend here as you like. Releasing the arms back through center. And then unwinding them, taking them out to the sides. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, bend into the elbows. Turn the elbows, the palms up to the sky. Back bending in this cactus shape. And then exhale, releasing. Then stepping back, once again, that tabletop position. On an inhale, look up, belly drops down. Exhale, rounding it out to the chest. Coming back to center. And we'll come forward between the hands. You can walk the knees forward. Have a seat. Take the legs out in front of you. Scooting forward and rolling all the way back down, flat onto your back. With the soles of the feet down, the back rested, taking the right ankle and crossing it over the left knee. You can press your right knee out towards the top of your mat and maybe out to the right side slightly. It's completely fine to stay right here. If you're feeling something that's like interesting or a stretch in the body that feels like, oh, that's nice today, you can stay right here. If you like a little more sensation, we can start to bring the left thigh up into the chest. You can interlace the fingers behind the left thigh or the fingers around the left shin. Trying to keep the low back grounded, the sacrum down towards the floor, the head and shoulders relaxed. Take 3 breaths here. Oh, so nice. Let's stay 2 more breaths. Good, and then releasing that left thigh. If it was up, everybody brings the right foot back down onto the floor. Good, separate the feet a little wider than the hips. You can walk them towards the edges of the mat. Allow the knees to fall together and resting on the mat. And then both knees fall towards the left, but we maintain the footprint. So the right knee will come towards the left inner arch of the foot. And then back through center, both knees up towards the sky. And then both knees out to the right side. And this time, the left knee will fall towards the inner arch of the right foot. And then back to center. Bring the feet back in so that they're hips distance apart. Crossing that left ankle over the right knee. Now you can take the left hand and press that left knee out to the left. And holding there, maybe that's plenty today. If you'd like to increase the stretch, we draw the right knee in. You can interlace behind the right thigh or over the right shin. Keeping the hips heavy, the head and shoulders relaxed. We'll take 5 breaths here. And then slowly releasing the right leg back towards the floor. And then the left leg down, separating the feet again. Wider than hips distance apart, the knees fall together. Now having both legs fall towards the left, maintaining the footprint so that the knees separate. And then coming back through center, both knees fall towards the right side. And then back to center. Bringing the right knee into the chest and then the left knee, hugging both knees in nice and tight. Give a little rock side to side. Bringing your hands inside of your knees, grabbing a hold of the soles of the feet, maybe on the inside, the baby toe side. We pull those knees down and wide. The soles of the feet turning up towards the ceiling. And then drawing the hips down. The knees down. The shoulders down. You can allow the body to rock gently from side to side. Or stay perfectly still. Bringing the feet and the knees back towards center, squeezing everything in. You can even bring your forehead towards your knees and squeeze. Exhale, releasing. Taking everything out nice and long. Reach the legs out long towards the top of the mat. Reach your fingers up and back, stretch. Stretch, 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 stretch. And then exhale, releasing. Setting yourself up for your final Shavasana. You can create any kind of position that feels nice for you. Add layers, take away layers. You can bring the soles of the feet back down to the floor and allow the knees to fall towards each other. You can send the legs out long and the arms can rest maybe overhead in a diamond shape, out to the sides or alongside your body. Maybe lifting up the shoulders, rolling the shoulders a little further underneath you. Or lifting and lowering the hips, coming to rest fully down onto the mat. Focusing on the rhythm of your breathing. Coming back perhaps for a moment to the intention that you set, or the one who you dedicate this practice to today. And then settling into your Shavasana. Can you offer a permission to not have to think about anything at all? Maybe the only time today. take all the time that you like in your Shavasana. And then when you're ready, coming onto your side body, the knees into the chest, a little fetal position on the side. And then using your hands to press all the way up. With joy and gratitude, I thank you so very much for joining me for this Rise and Shine yoga this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste. Thanks, guys.